Okay, I guess it says we are live. Excuse my attire here, but it's cold out here in this garage. I've got to get some kerosene for my kerosene heater. Not that it does much good, but it does help a little bit. Let's see if we get this thing centered a little bit. Well, I sent out some, sent out some requests if anybody wants to join in. Of course, there's a link posted if anybody wants to join in. You bullet casters out there, if you guys want to join in, I would really appreciate it because I'm getting ready to get into casting and get me some earphones on here. You'll probably use some pointers. So wait here a couple seconds here and see if we get I'm having to text a friend of mine. I get this out of the way here right quick. Just got a text from Dan. He might be able to join us in a little while. Anybody out there? Come on. Let me hear somebody say something on the side chat here. Give it a few minutes. Oh, the crazy Scotsman. Hey, brother. Hey, there's a link there if you want to come jump in right quick. You ain't got nothing else to do. It's always good to see you, bud. As I was saying, it is cold out here, so I've got my Luke, feel the force. It's 34 degrees and snowing. It is a crappy day. I got tired of sitting in there watching TV. I've been sitting in there for 4 days. Stupid knee went out on me last Saturday, and I ain't been really out of the house the last 4 or 5 days. Well, I went to the emergency room Wednesday, and I ain't been out of the house since then. But we'll get back to work tomorrow and see the orthopedic doctor Wednesday morning, see what's going on with it. Hey, Keith, glad to have you. Heading into bed shortly, brother. That's cool. I understand that. I know you probably had to work tonight, but you know you're always welcome. Text messages going crazy here. And Dan won't make it in this afternoon, and he's all tied up with some online courses. Where you at, Keith? I let the dog out about, 5 o'clock this morning, and he was spitting in, and about an hour and a half later, the ground was covered. Now it's kind of breaking up a little bit because it warmed up. It was like 30 degrees when it was really sticking, but now it's up, I think it's 34, about 35 degrees. Let's just see what it is. 34 degrees, still 34 degrees. Northern Kentucky. Woo. It's unusual for y'all to be getting it right now, ain't it? Ain't nothing unusual around this place. It's our second one. The first one we had here a week or two ago, and it didn't really stick. I mean, just covered the ground, and then by the afternoon it was gone, but it was really coming down there for a while. Me too, Scotsman. This is only our second little snow. Of course, it'll make everybody happy tomorrow because tomorrow's the first our firearm deer season. I'm hoping to get out Thursday. I don't want to be taking a chance of doing anything stupid till I see the orthopedic doctor Wednesday with this knee. Maybe get out there and trip and do more damage than what I want to do to it. But I cast. The reason why I put this title, it Cast It Out, is like I said, getting ready to get into casting. I ordered some excuse me, ordered some stuff that should be in probably later this week. Some molds, one 2 cavity mold, a smelting pot, and I don't know, some other things, ladle. Seems like there's something else. I can't remember what it is, but I'm going to start doing some casting. Cincinnati, I used to bowl in a tournament down there all the time. Every year we used to go down to Dayton and Cincinnati to bowling tournaments. No, I take that back. It wasn't Cincinnati. It was Dayton, and there's another bowling alley outside of Dayton that we bowled at, 2 tournaments down there. We went over to Cincinnati one time for a bowling tournament. 9mm right now, Scotsman. We're going to start out with that. And I know the local guy here at the garage, and he gave me almost a 5-gallon bucket of wheel weights the other day, and I got to start getting them sorted out. I'm still carrying my shield most of the time. Yeah, I take that back. I carry it to work and around the house. But if I'm going out somewhere, I usually take the CZ P07. Yeah, that'd be cool. You guys get together. It's always fun shooting with somebody, fellow YouTubers. I know me and Dan does a lot of it. Me and Bim Freedom, and of course, I think Bim's the last one. I don't remember if Bim's the last one up here or Dan. Dan ain't been up for a while. Hoping Uncle Jim would catch this and come in here with us. Got a few questions. I used to cast. Oh God, it was back in the early '90s, so it's been 30 years. And I used to have Seiko molds and Lyman molds. I used to cast for 44 Magnum, 22 caliber. I didn't really do much with 9mm back then, 38s. But we moved into an apartment and I sold all my casting stuff. I mean, I had, oh God, I must have had 400 pounds of wheel weights and probably 100 pounds of linotype. A friend of mine up in Alma, Michigan, he does a lot of reloading, and I hadn't seen him in years. He come and bought the whole kabaj. But the way things are now, and who knows, I would assume things will get better. But I don't look for it for a while. Yeah, Scotsman, anytime. Yeah, probably next summer now, next spring, because around here I don't do much in the wintertime. I might run over to the pit. If Dan comes up, we'll run over and excuse me, shoot a little bit or raise a little heck over there. But that's about it. And back here, my home range back here, when the snow gets deep, I won't be going back there because I can't get back there. I thought about going out there yesterday. I put it off. Well, put it off. Now it's getting all wet back there. And of course, like I said, deer hunting season. A lot of guys hunt their property around here. So till deer season's over, I won't be going back there because I don't want to mess up the hunt, Hopefully we'll get more guys in here. Yeah, I can't remember what I ordered. A mallet, a 2-cavity mole, 9mm. I wanted a 6-cavity, but everywhere I looked, they didn't have the bullet I wanted, because I want just one grease groove in it, and none of them had it, so I had to settle for the 2-cavity for right now. That's the one I'm going to use, for the time being. It says we got 5 or 4 on here. If anybody wants to join in, there's a link up at the top. Matter of fact, I'll put it on there again if you want to jump in here. Be glad to have somebody else's voice and opinions other than me rattling off. But I bit the bullet the other day, and I don't know if any of you seen the short I put out. I picked up 1,000 PCI small pistol primers. Natchez got a hold of me, and I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and I just, Jesus, I don't want to spend that money. It wasn't so much the price of the primers, but you had the tax on it. You had that, I think it was 20, well, just short of $20 for the hazmat fee. And I wanted to, I actually wanted to get more than one, but I thought, you know what? And the value was, I would only had to pay one hazmat fee, but I just didn't want to spend all that kind of money on primers right now. That Ruger Max 9 is a nice pistol. I shot, Dan brought one up, and I did a review on it. I think if I was ever get another compact type carry pistol, it would be that Ruger Max 9, because it's optic ready and all that stuff. And I've been looking at some optics, and of course I'm playing with the optic I got on that 22, but these old eyes are just getting they're getting to the point where they don't see the front rear target. I know the rear and or the front and the target. Forget the rear, but still, you want all three of them kind of aligned. And yeah, be 72 next month, so father time keeps moving on. Yeah, that like I said, that Ruger Max that's a nice little pistol. It really is. And it you know, I don't have massive hands. I've got sort of thick and short stubby fingers, but it felt good. Most of the compacts, like the subcompacts, they just don't feel quite right in my hand. Like, well, I call it a mini. There's like that Ruger small Ruger 380 LCP. That thing's just too small for my hands. I do a lot of that point shooting. I really do, Scotsman. That's why I miss a lot. Measuring grains. Hey, how you doing? Glad to have you. Hi, bye. Well, at least thanks for stopping in. Treetop Outdoors. Hey, bud. Glad to have you out there. Yeah, we just killing some time this Sunday afternoon, and I don't waste my time watching the NFL, but yeah, the LCP Max is pretty nice, but it's still, I got arthritis real bad in my hands, and it's just hard for me to get them to grip tight enough to hold on to something like that. Ram 4x4. That's a new name I don't remember seeing. Glad to have you. And I don't know. We got to figure out how to get some better heat out here in this garage. I know with that, I've been kind of looking at the heaters that hang up and blow down and stuff, because I'd like to keep these chats going through the winter. But when it starts getting sub-zero out, stuff like that, I ain't gonna sit out here. It ain't too bad today. Of course, I'm all bundled up too, except my legs. I got shorts on. I had shorts and knee-high holes on my legs and knee brace and all that crap on. So my legs are warm anyway. Yeah, Bim's quite a guy, Scotsman. He's really a good guy. He's been wanting Bad Billy to come up with him one of these days, but so far we ain't been able to. His work schedule just ain't been able to coincide when he comes up. But Bim's got a super family. His wife, Megan, and son and everything. Great family. And like I said, there's a link there in the side chat if any of you guys want to jump in here. You're more than welcome to jump in. Only two things is I try to keep the F-bombs to a minimum, and no GDs, just a little bit of language type thing. I try to keep that kind of stuff off my chats and even my videos. But I mean, sometimes you get in some debates and stuff, and the words do fly out. That's no problem. But well, thank you, Ram 4x4. Do you do videos, or you just YouTuber? You just watch videos? Yeah, I'll go ahead and check your channel out later anyway. Let's go, Brandon. There you go. That's a simple way to put it right there. I was on the Palmetto State website this morning. I got a thing on email, and they got a lower. And I'd heard a while back that they had "Let's Go Brandon." You know how they'll put names and stuff on the side of their lower. And all it said this morning was "Let's go." So I don't know if they got in trouble for putting the Brandon on there or what, but George's shooting connection. Yeah, I sat here and I watched that Saturday morning when I got up. And this morning I watched Uncle Jim. I think he had about a 4 or 5 hour, close to a 4 or 5 hour chat this morning. Uncle Jim and Kyle and I can't remember who all was on there. Well, if you got a smartphone, Ram, just pop off a video with it. A lot of guys do that. I mean, they ain't got to be nothing elaborate. Get into making some videos. It's fun. Work. Sometimes it's work, but a lot of guys just record on their smartphone and go to YouTube, log in, upload, boom. You're all set. That way you can start doing some videos. But whether you do it or whether you don't, definitely glad to have you. I ain't got a whole lot to talk about if we don't get some more guys in here. Got my shotgun all set, ready to go for hunting Thursday. Found me I knew I had some slings around here. I couldn't find the one I really wanted, but I took one off the Ruger carbine, put on it. So I climbing up into that tree stand. I gotta have something to shoulder that thing. Now, I don't know if any of you follow football, but Michigan pulled out one yesterday. I thought they'd give that game away like they did Michigan State, but they actually pulled it out. Anybody knows I'm avid Maize and Blue fan. I think Ohio State's going to clean their clock a couple weeks, though. Again, I don't think they got the guns to handle Ohio State. Maybe it won't be a high-scoring game, I don't think, with their defense, but their offense, I don't think it's going to be able to do much with Ohio State. I might be surprised. You never know with that game. Of course, 10 out of the last 11 years pretty much know how it's going to go. Oh, you casters yeah, good. Yeah, I'm just going to get back into, like I was saying earlier, I did it about 30 years ago and I got rid of all my stuff because we moved into an apartment back then. And of course, apartments, no place to cast bullets. So I got rid of all that stuff. And of course, now we got a house. And I lost my first wife in 02, and got remarried. And we just bought this place up north here a couple years ago. So I'm trying to get everything in the way I want. Yeah, it's so hard to find bullets, powder, and primers. You can find the bullets pretty easy, but God, they're double the price of what they used to be. I know I get a lot of bullets. I used to get my bullets from Everglades, and what they want for 500, I was getting 1,000 then. And lipstick bullet, which one who makes that? I can't even think of the name of that company. But I've got a lot of their bullets. And I really don't need any bullets right now, but I figure casting will be a good winter project. Get me out of the house, get me out of sitting in a chair. Of course, I work part-time Monday through Fridays. I only work 3 hours a day, just open the store up from 5:30 to 8:30 and I'm out of there. So I pretty much have the whole room, the whole day to myself. Yeah, I think it'll be a good place to out here because I got 1, 2, 3 benches out here. Of course, my reloading bench is over here, and I got this bench I use for chats and whatnot, and I got another workbench over there for tumbling. I'll probably use that for the casting. Hey, Mario. Hey, if you feel like chatting, there's a link up there. Jump in here with me. Yeah, we was married for just shy of 34 years when she passed. And thank you. Pretty good old girl I got now. It's Brown Uncle Jim. Hello. Yeah. Yeah, he was having fun on that chat this morning when I was watching it. Stalker Steve, how you doing, bud? Everything going pretty good, Mario. Steve, you ain't doing anything. There's a link there. Jump in here with me. Another Michigander. He's downstate from me. He's always going to get together when I was living down there, but just never met. Yeah, it's cold out here. I got a sweater on, got this, put my hoodie on because I ain't got a whole lot of hair anyway. And I'm out of kerosene, so my kerosene heater ain't lit. So, but I got to find it. Don't heat this garage up real well anyway. So I got to find a different heat source for out here. I was saying, I need to get me a couple of them electric, like they have at the outdoor ranges and stuff. That a couple of them around the area here to warm it up. He was in the UP yesterday. What in the world was you doing up in the UP? I bet they got a lot of snow up there, don't they? Has anybody been keeping up with this Kyle Rittenberger or whatever? Oh, just a couple inches up there, huh? Last year when I got kerosene, it was 4 something a gallon. I hate to see what it is this year. You got a hunting camp up in the UP. I've hunted up there a couple times back years and years and years and years ago over toward be west of Newberry over there. Okay, Steve. Well, that's cool. Don't work too hard. Oh, okay. You're from Central Wisconsin. You're probably keeping up with this Kenosha, that trial of that Kyle Wittenberger up there. I think so too, Steve. From what I've seen, it's self-defense. My only question is why would a 17-year-old boy with an AR, I know what his motive was, but as a parent, why was he out on the streets at 17 knowing a riot was going on by himself? Like I said, I know his motive was good to help, but it would have been my son. I said, oh no, you're not going there. Least of all with a firearm. Yeah, I think the prosecutor, I wouldn't be surprised if the judge don't rule a mistrial with prejudice, because he was tearing that prosecutor's fanny up there. Oh yeah, that one guy over in New York City said if that new mayor reinstalls that undercover police thing that they had, that there was going to be rioting, burning, and bloodshed. Yeah, I know he started out with a small group, but how did he get left by himself like that? Excuse me. But a 17-year-old shouldn't have been there in the first place. Yeah, that's what I heard at the closing argument tomorrow, and then turned over to the jury. It'll be interesting. I just wonder, they keep mentioning racist, right? Here you got a white kid. All three victims were white. How does racism fall into this? I just can't figure. Well, it's the left's way. The first thing they want to do is yell racism. It's just that simple. I'm so sick of the word racism. It's crazy. Gunmetal guy, glad to have you. But we see, it depends on how long the jury's out, I guess. If they come back fairly short, I think it'll be good for him. But I was watching Judge Janine. Well, I taped it last night. Hey, Uncle Jim, hop in here. And she had Hannity on there, and they was talking about it. But and they said that he may get slapped with a weapons charge being 17 years old. So if that's the worst that comes out of it, as long as he don't lose his rights down the road, they said it'd probably be a 9 months sentence, but who knows what it'll be. Yeah. Yeah. He said last year that when this first all come down, that the kid was a white supremacist. The kid was 17 years old. That's the first thing that's the first thing left wants to do, is either racism or white supremacists. That seems to be their motto. Oh. Let's see if we missed anybody along here. How many hours you usually work, Steve? A week? You work third, second shift? Yeah, mini pot belly stove. That's what I need, Uncle Jim. Let me post this link again if anybody wants to slide in here. Yeah, I was telling everybody earlier, Uncle Jim, I ordered some casting stuff. I ordered one of them Lyman smelting pots and a 2-cavity mold for Lee. Lee 2-cavity 9mm, and I can't think of what else. Oh, a ladle. Yeah, that judge seems to be. He's definitely not in favor of that prosecutor. I know that. Oh, okay. You ever deliver up in this area, up here in northeast? Northeastern Michigan. Oh gosh, what email number did I get? I don't know. Let me see if I can get into my email and find out. It's 125 grainer. I know that. It's 2-cavity. Only got one lube band on it, or one lube groove. I didn't want to. I don't like a lot of lube grooves. I want as much bearing surface as I can get. Let's see. It's a Lee 2-cavity bullet mold 356 125 2R. Oh, I ordered an ingot mold too with handles. Yeah, I got free shipping on everything but the pot. I think it cost me $1.40 for the pot. So that was pretty nice. I wish I'd had free shipping on them primers the other day. Steve up here, the only places I could go is be Saginaw to Cabela's, or Frank's are in, down south of, or the other side of Pinconning, or Gaylord up at Jay's. But yeah, they, as far as around this immediate area, West Branch, Tawas, even the gun shops around here, they don't have, well, the one gun shop over in Oscoda, they have a little bit of powder stuff that I don't want. But I used to get primers over there back when this first, all this crunch started. I went over there and he had some Federal large pistol primers over there. It was like $40. It was inflated a little bit, but nothing like it is. And I bought them, and he hasn't. I was in there, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and I said, "You're going to order any primers?" And she said that the owner will not order them because of the price of them, and he don't want to have to charge his customers a ridiculous price for primers. So powder coat, Raham. Yeah, I used to get my bullets from I can't think of the name of it over here up by Essexville over here in the Thumb area, and I used to get them unlubed, unsized, and powder coat them and size them myself. Yeah, I've got everything, the toaster oven and everything, powder coating. I don't even remember the temperature. I'm gonna have to go back and watch some videos on what temperatures you powder coat. It's been so long since I've done any of that. Oh, you got that mold? Do you have the 2-cavity or cavity ram? I wanted to get the 6-cavity, but they just, Midway didn't have it, Natchez didn't have it, Mid South didn't have it, Brownells didn't have it, Amazon didn't have it. Yeah, I'm anxious to get it. Probably the end of this weekend. Like I said, I got to start sorting some. Hey, Red, glad to have you. Sorry about Grandpa, buddy. Uh, but anyway, I got almost a 5-gallon bucket of wheel weights from local garage up here. I know the guy real well, and he said, "Yeah, come and get them." He says, "We just get rid of them." I'll take them. Take all you can get me. So, no, I got 2 toaster ovens sitting back over here on the shelf, on one of these shelves back here. I used one when I was playing, dicking around with Kydex holsters, and then I misplaced it. I couldn't find it. I knew I had it around here, so I went out and bought another one. Of course, I found the other one, so now I got 2 of them. Okay, Uncle Jim, 400, but small ovens try 350. So okay, that's what I remember. It seems like it was 350 for like 20 minutes, if I remember right. want to say it was 350, 375 when I did them before. I think it was 20, 25 minutes. I always used Eastwood powders. And they always covered good except the yellows and whites. They don't, but I don't care what powder coat you use on those two. I don't think they work real well, period. Now, sorting wheel weights, Uncle Jim, while I got you on there, you or anybody else that wants to chime in there. I'm going to put them in a Lyman melting pot. To sort them, how do you know? Because I'm really not familiar with zinc, steel, of course. But what about zinc? I understand some of the wheel weights other people get is zinc. Is it a different melting temperature for zinc than wheel weights? Because I think wheel weights is what, 650 to 700, if I remember right. Okay, I thought about that too, just getting some cutters and just kind of, the zinc is harder than the lead, right? C.W. Longshot was telling that he does his baking for 20 minutes, even if the directions call for 10. I think I always use 20, 25 minutes when mine, and I always dumped them in a pail of cold water. Kind of. I had heard that too, Steve, that some of the zinc, some of them are marked. I've heard some of them got Z or ZA on them or something like that. Watch for plastic also. Okay. Is that your stick-on wheel weights, Uncle Jim? Are they plastic or are they soft lead? Now, you guys that are casting, do you just run straight wheel weights or do you add 10 or linotype or anything like that to them, or just straight wheel weights? I kind of figured the stick-ons was a soft lead. I don't think I've ever seen stick-on wheel weights, to be honest with you. All right, Steve, you have a good one. Be careful out there driving around. Yeah, Elvis Ammo, I watched his videos when I first got into powder coating. He really had a lot of interesting stuff. I just didn't want to have to go back and dig up videos to get the old mind to remember all of it. I seen a video here, I don't know, a couple, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I can't remember who it was that loaded some zinc bullets. Do they come out heavier than the mold? I mean, a lot heavier than wheel weights. Or lighter. Okay. All right, Keith. Thanks a lot for coming in, buddy. Appreciate it. Appreciate your support. You can also tell wheel weights by sound. My hearing ain't that good. I probably couldn't hear it unless it's really. Wheel weights are fine, air cool, and water for magnums. Okay. I know back 30 years ago when I was telling everybody there earlier, Uncle Jim, that I used to cast 30 years ago, but we moved into an apartment and I got rid of everything I had. And I used to quench them right out of the mold, for everything. But I was just basically was 38, 357, 44 mag, and 22 for the 22 Hornet. Is what I was casting. I wasn't casting for 9mm back then or anything like that. I don't even know if I had a 9mm back then. Yeah, I know I had a 9mm, but I wasn't that. Yeah, I did. I had a Ruger P85. Yeah, some good information. I'm glad you guys jumped in there that does casting, because that's why I title it Cast It Out. Yeah, getting ready to go online and start looking for some of it. I thought, you know what, let's just have a chat and get the guys that are actually doing it and see if anybody got any better ideas. Okay, let me see. I got a text message from somebody. Okay, Harley, I'll put a link here if you're listening. Let me text him right quick. Looks like Harley Writers Range is going to come and join in for a while. Give him a couple minutes here, see if he slides in here. There he comes. I'm gonna get over here and click him in here. Hey Harley, how you doing?
Yeah, doing good. Hope you can't too much hear the kids in the background there.
I can't hardly hear nothing. I got earphones in anyway. I
Yeah,
used to
sorry about
test some water scout PC and water quench option. Stopped doing that after Walter Bunning said to just do one water quench after PC. Okay. Oh, we're talking casting now, Harley. Got any? You ever done any bullet casting?
Anywho,
Bullet casting?
have I done any?
Yeah.
Not in a long time.
Well, that's it with me. That's why the title of this is Cast It Out. I just ordered some casting stuff, and I was telling the guys that 30 years ago, back in the early 90s, I was casting. We moved into an apartment, so I got rid of all my casting stuff and adding a little bit here and there now. Be a good winter project.
Yeah, I debated about getting back into it, but it's at this point in my life, got enough other stuff to do.
There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, up here where I live, ain't a whole lot to do around here. Especially with winter coming, I figured it'd be a good winter project.
Yeah, I've still got enough primers and bullets and powder to keep me going through the winter, and that'll then I'll, if I don't get a fresh supply by spring, I'll be out. But that's my winter project, is loading about 10,000 more rounds.
Well, I tell you what, I bought that 1,000 rounds the other day from Natchez, and man, it hurt to buy them. Oh, I didn't want to buy them.
Yeah, we just came back from visiting my daughter out in Colorado Springs. And on the way out, we stopped at Brownells, and lo and behold, they had primers.
Really?
So I picked up a brick of limit one brick, but I picked up a brick of CCI small pistol primers, I want to say it was $64.
Oh, really?
Yeah, about twice what I'm used to paying. But on the other hand, it's it's less than a lot of other places are charging right now.
Well, what killed me the other day was having to pay that hazmat fee and the tax on it.
Yep.
The primers was bad enough. but having to pay that on there. On top of that, it bumped it up to about 12 cents a piece.
Yeah, probably a year or so ago, I bought a brick of primers from I can't even remember what site it was, but I made sure I bought powder along with it so that I'm only paying one hazmat fee to get 8 pounds of powder and a brick of primers.
Well, I really wanted to get, because I don't know if you know who Pop's Quest is. When
Oh yeah.
Natchez, I don't know if you've seen his video, he went and actually ordered 10,000, went through the process of like ordering it. That way you only had one hazmat. He didn't take the order. He come out with a video saying he just wanted to see how many you could actually get. And evidently there wasn't no limit on it.
Oh really?
Because he punched in 10 and he went all the way through the process just before, to pay it. And then he, of course, backed out of it and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen some of those going for like $80, $90 a brick, and that's more than I want to pay right now.
It was me too, Harley. It really was. But, the way things are going right now, I mean, I've been to Gaylord, or to Jay's, I've been to Frank's, I've been to Cabela's, and they getting them in, but it's just a matter of I live far enough away from them where I can't just run over there every day and, and do something like that. Because Frank's is, they're an hour and a half away, and well, Saginaw is Cabela's, so it ain't much further than Frank's, but Gaylord over at Jay's is 2.5 hours. Not an easy way of getting up there. And here a while back, I called them one day and I said, "You have any small pistol primers?" And they said, "Yes." I said, this was almost their closing time. I didn't have time to get over that evening. So I got up next morning. I was going to be there when they opened at 9 o'clock. Well, my wife wanted to go. And you know how getting wives to go early to do things. I got there and come find out they don't open till 10 o'clock. I got there 10:15. And I walked back there to where the stuff was at. There was a guy ahead of me and a guy ahead of him. And I heard the guy ahead of me ask, he says, "Do you have any more small pistol primers?" He said, "I just sold the last one to that guy ahead of him."
Wow.
I was that close. And they wanted like 70, I think he said $74 a thousand or something like that's what they're selling them for. And I figure, hey, it's supply and demand right now until things loosen up a little bit. There ain't much we can do about it,
No, when I got back in the car at Brownells, I mentioned it to my wife, and she was getting ready to go in and buy her one brick. But again, I don't really need them right now, so we took a pass on it. We got out to Colorado. I hit Bass Pro and Shields. I don't know if you've ever been in a Shields store or not, but
Never heard of it.
Bass Pro had a boatload of ammo, and they said they just sold off the last of their primers. But they had a limit like Cabela's does. So I got my 8 boxes there and then went over to Shields. Huge stock of all the ammo you could think of. Powder, no primers, and unlimited, no limitations on what you buy in the way of ammo. Really a good find out there, but no primers anywhere except Brownells.
Yeah. Well, I know I got the email from Natchez the other day, and I think it was last Saturday, Saturday. I don't remember. And I'm sitting there looking at this, and I went through and, do I really want to do it? Do I really want to? Trying to talk myself out of do it, but I thought, well, boom. Well, they come in yesterday. I got them in.
Yeah. Well, before I hit
the
before I hit the 1,000 from Brownells, I'm sitting on 6,000 small pistol and I think 5,000 large pistol. So I'm okay for a while.
Well, actually, I'm not sitting on nowhere near that because a friend of mine gave me 1,000 CCI 550 Magnum back September. Before I got them, I think I was down to like 500. But I've been through. Of course, since we moved up here, I ain't doing the shooting that I did downstate because I was shooting IDPA out there and stuff like that, and going through quite a bit of rounds every month, But up here, I don't quite shoot as much. And it's like when me and Dan's out there doing videos and stuff, I just shoot maybe a mag or two, and that's it, But now I don't have to be quite so conservative now.
Yeah, I'm not doing any more 1,000-round reviews, that's for sure. No, I took when we went to Colorado. I took I think I took 3,000 or 300 rounds. Last time I was out there, I gave my daughter about 3,000 rounds that I loaded up. So I took another 300 rounds this time, and we went through all of those plus a couple of hundred more in 2 range trips, just between myself and my grandkids.
That's good that they're out there shooting now.
Yeah, they're shooting fairly regularly. Actually, Magnum Shooting Sports out in Colorado Springs does a bowling pin shoot once a month, and it's a bracketed man-on-man type shoot off. And my granddaughter went up against her father, and probably well, he's not watching this, so I can say it anyway. She got all of her pins down before he got the first one down, which was kind of cool. Then she went up against her brother, and she almost beat him, but she choked on the last pin. And her brother ended up coming in second in the tournament using a King Cobra, shooting double action, the only revolver there, and he came in second to a gal shooting a full race gun. So they get out and they shoot a lot.
Yeah, you froze up there a little bit, Harley. We was shooting bowling pins out there at the sportsman's club I belong to down there, and we was shooting it once a week, and it was fun. But we had an accident that one of our range officers didn't have his safety glasses on, and the guy was shooting some powder puff loads at 38. One of them bounced back and caught him in the eye.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's not good. No,
he didn't have
no eye
real light load. Yeah,
wow.
no.
We shoot a steel league at my hometown range here, Ann Arbor Arms, and I run that league. So we shoot 1 month as rimfire, next month is center fire, and we're doing it 10 to 12 yards. But my rule to everybody on the range: if they don't have, they can't come into the range without eye protection, and if they don't have wraparound eye protection, then when anybody's shooting, they have to look straight down range. They can't be looking sideways to it because we do get splashback occasionally.
Oh, you're gonna get splashback. Yeah, when we shot our steel plates down there into the backstop before they went to the all rubber back there, it you used to get splashback. Nothing serious, nothing going to hurt you or anything. But I mean, if it caught you in the eye, yeah, it's going to do something,
Yeah, every now and then I've had just a piece come back and draw blood. So again, if I didn't have iPro on and that hit the wrong place, I'd be in deep trouble. And last I checked, your eyes don't grow back.
No. Well, that's it was still into litigation when we moved up here. I don't know anything about the settlement or the insurance and nothing. I don't know anything about it anymore because I'm not down there, so I don't know anything about it. But he sued, but of course the argument was you're a certified range officer and you ain't got your safety glasses on. I mean,
yeah, that's
partly his fault too,
Well, it sounds to me like he ought to be suing himself.
Yeah. I'll have to get a hold of one of the guys down there, the president. I haven't talked to him in a while and see how everything come out on that. I'd be curious to know.
So did he lose his eye or what happened on that?
It damaged it pretty good. It didn't quite catch him dead nuts, but I guess it did quite a bit of damage. I don't know if he lost sight in it or not.
Wow. Yeah, it's way back when, right after I got out of the service, before I had kids, my wife and I were stopped into a local shop. The guy had a makeshift range in the basement, and he just worked on a 45 and was all proud about how it was going to shoot. So he gave it to us to pop a couple rounds off. I shot a couple. My wife grabbed it, and first round she touched off out of that 45. The case came back and hit her right in the eye, and she didn't have eye pro. Fortunately, it was just the case. And there was no permanent damage, but it hurt. We spent the afternoon at the hospital, and it was uncomfortable for the next week or so after that. So from then on, I don't go anywhere near a range without eye protection.
Yeah. Well, I had another accident out there where a guy had a Taurus revolver, and he was shooting evidently his commercial reloads, and the gun blew up. So the last time I knew on that, it messed his hand up pretty good.
Wow.
I don't know how that one come out because Taurus was blaming the ammo company was blaming Taurus, so it was one of them he said she said type things.
Well, I think the Taurus manual, like most of them, will say that to not shoot anything except factory fresh ammo.
Yep, do not shoot reloads. They all say that.
Yep. And I frankly won't buy commercial reloads. We used to buy them when I was teaching at the police academy because that obviously we had a budget to work with. In fact, I've got a barrel downstairs that we took out of one of the revolvers at the police academy back in probably 87, 88. And it's a barrel from a 6-shot revolver that has 7 slugs packed into the barrel.
Wow.
From commercial reloads that were and either the first one was a squib and the rest of them were so low powered it didn't hurt anything. But I'm thinking all that whole he shot 6, tried to shoot 6, reloaded, pulled the trigger on the 7th, and it went off. Couldn't pull the trigger again because now the cylinder was bound up with one in the forcing cone. But I'm thinking that the whole batch of those had to have been no powder.
Well, back in '76, R4 Mississippi Thunder, glad to have you. Thanks for coming in. Back in '76, that's the reason why I got into reloading myself. We had a local guy there south of Flint, and he had a reloading. He reloaded for the police departments and everything around that area. And I used to shoot his reloads. And one day I was out to Williams gun site. I had a Ruger Security 6. Yeah, Security 6. And I popped one off. It was 357 mag. And it sounded good. Went off real good. And the next one went. You could tell it was lighter. The next one just went. Uh-oh. So I looked in the bore and yep, sure enough, the bullet was stuck in there. So I left the bullet in there. Took the reloads out to his place a couple days ago. And of course, he took it, knocked it out, broke some of the bullets loose, and the powder was evidently wet because it was just one clump, just terrible. He said, "Yeah, I must have been got some dampness in them." I said, "Yeah, huh." So I says, "Well, what's it cost to get into reloading?" Well, back then, I got the RCBS rock chucker, set of 357 guys. Now they wasn't carbide, scale, manual, the whole shooting match set up for reloading, $75.
Wow.
And from that, and I've still got the RCBS right here. I still use it. It's as good as the day. I put a couple new pins in it a couple years ago, and it works great. And I have never used anybody else's reloads. I grew up on a reload. It's me.
Yeah, I started with the old Lee hand loader and went up to an RCBS, and then back in the '80s, I won a Dillon at down in Indiana at a match, and been using that Dillon ever since. I see Uncle Jim had a barrel that plugged up too. We haven't framed ours. I teach CPL classes, and I do use that barrel with the 7 rounds in it at the CPL classes. Just to show what a squib load is like, and don't do it. That was, we had like 45 people on the shooting line at the same time. Very first time this kid ever even handled a gun, so he didn't have a clue what was happening. But he learned right after that. And Ram 4 before you. I was 38 years in law enforcement in addition to being an instructor.
I know the funniest thing that happened while I was one of the directors or safety officers there. I was there on a Thursday night. This woman come back. She said, "My gun ain't loading right." Said, okay, so I walked over. She had her mag loaded with bullets toward her and the rim into the barrel, and it wouldn't go in there. She had it in backwards. That's the funniest thing that ever happened.
Yeah, when we were at the police academy, we had if the academy students were civilians paying their own way through, then we furnished the firearms. But if they were furnished, or if they were coming through on a department sponsorship, then they used their department's guns. We had a mixture of 9s and 40s, and of course, one of the guys shooting a 40 grabbed 9mm ammunition, which is interesting to shoot out of a 40. We've had some strange things there on the firing line.
That's only the weirdest thing I've seen while I was safety officer.
Yeah, I've seen some strange stuff, especially doing police academies for 15 years. And I've seen some really weird things.
Oh, I bet you have, especially being an instructor too. I mean, I was just a simple range officer and seen a couple things, but That was the funniest thing that I ever seen.
Well, even at the department, we at my first department, we finally had guys had to qualify with their off-duty gun, and one guy brought a gun in that was so full of dust bunnies he couldn't pull the trigger. Another one brought one in that was all shiny clean. It was his off-duty gun, and he tried shooting the thing, and it just went click. Nothing ever happened. And we looked at it, and it had ammunition in there, good primer dents. And so we started talking about his cleaning, and all he ever did was spray the thing down with WD-40 and wipe it off with the cartridges in it. Obviously, not a good idea. So, yeah, some weird things.
Oh, back when I used to shoot, I used to belong to Lapeer Gun Club out. Oh God, this is back in the early '80s. We used to have PPC on Thursday nights, and the Lapeer Police Department actually went in there and trained. They took one guy off the street because he couldn't qualify with shooting. So they gave him a desk job until he got his scores up.
We had a bunch of those. We had one time we went to the range, outdoor range, and we're practicing shooting from the vehicle. We lost a spotlight, had holes in a couple of the fenders. Again, and guys just not able to shoot. One guy on the indoor range was actually hitting the floor in front of him when he was shooting to 7 yards. So cops are not, for the most part, they're not very much firearms oriented.
Well, it's like out there at our gun club. I mean, the range is for members only, but on Thursday and Sunday afternoon, we opened it to the public. So that's when range officers had to be there. But the baffles at the top, like if I was going to be the range officer today, I'd go in early and spray all the shots that's on the baffles. So, keep track of that.
Oh yeah, Ann Arbor Arms has only been there 5 years, but within a month after opening, just about every baffle had been hit. Streaks down the walls, streaks in the floor. Yeah,
we had that stuff out there. What are you gonna do? You're not there. You ain't got nobody there other than for the public. So that's the biggest thing with being a range officer. You really got it. We only had 8 bays. It was all manual. You had to walk down to your targets. It wasn't nothing automated or anything like that. They started making it. Before I left, they started having everything on pulleys where you could pull your targets where nobody had to go down or anything. And
I am too. I know. I knew that.
Watching people's gun control, they're turning this and that. You got to constantly be on a swivel watching them, walking back behind the firing line, with their gun, whatever.
Yeah, and then of course, the ones that have a problem with it, they turn around 180 degrees and point the gun at you and say, "I got a problem with my gun." Well, now you got a real problem because you're banned from the range.
Yeah, I've never had that done. I've had them come close to coming out with it, but I've never had them actually come out and scan anybody.
How's the temperature in your garage today?
It's colder than a witch's butt. That's why I'm all bundled up here, and I got shorts on.
Okay.
My knee went out last Saturday, and I ended up in the emergency room Wednesday. So I ain't been done. I've just been sitting around the last 4 days. It's easier to put ice on it and stuff than having it go through jeans and stuff like that. So. Yeah, they thought it was a blood clot at first, but it ain't a blood clot. So we'll see the orthopedic doctor Wednesday.
Did you get Go ahead.
I haven't even. I didn't even work Thursday and Friday because I couldn't bend. I actually, literally, when I would walk, I had to use crutches and keep my leg just as stiff as I could in order to put weight on it. I got to the emergency room and I checked in. I told my wife, I said, I got to run to the restroom. I just had one crutch to try to take some of the weight off. I walked across the floor, Harley, and I swear somebody took a knife and hit me in the back of the knee. It almost, my wife and another woman there, and they jumped up. My big hit it down.
Wow. They figure out what it was?
They said it's a Baker's cyst. Now, I had a Baker's cyst on my left knee, before I had my knee replacement. They took care of that. It didn't hurt nothing like this. So I had arthroscopic surgery on it back in the early 90s on my right knee, and they said eventually I'd have to have a knee replacement
I
on
think
it.
it's over in this other drawer here. Is it in that one?
Getting a little interruption in the background here. I don't know if that's
Go
coming
ahead.
through or not.
I can hear them talking, but it ain't bothering me any.
Yeah, they got the grandkids over today, so it might occasionally get a little noisy here today.
That's all right.
Yeah, too cold for us to go out and ride motorcycles or shoot today, so we're inside just relaxing.
I told my wife, I says, I need to take the shotgun over because I'm not going to get to hunt until Thursday. And maybe not even then, it depends on what the orthopedic doctor says. I'm going to go deer hunt. I said, I need to go out and check the zero on the shotgun again just to be on the safe side. Well, we got up this morning, it's 32 degrees and snowing, and heck with it.
Yep, that's kind of what I saw. I looked outside of my range, and there's I still got the tarp up covering it, but I figured, I'm not going out there today. I'm just going to hang out. It's oh wow, it's up to 30, almost 35 degrees here now.
That's about what it is here. That's about what it is here, I think. Now we're at 36. Wow.
Ram 4 before talks about the aches and pains associated with getting old. Yeah, but it still beats the alternative.
That's what I tell somebody. I'll be at work and somebody says, how you doing, Don? I said, yeah, I'm all right. I guess ain't no need complaining. I don't even listen to myself. I said, but I ain't in jail, I ain't in the hospital, and I ain't dead. So we're all right.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen your video that you put up this morning. What was it on? I can't remember.
That was the Ruger LCP Max.
Ruger LCP, yeah. I've seen that. I didn't get a chance to get into that yet.
Yeah, and I've got another one. I'm going to try to have to shoot it tomorrow. I've got, when I was teaching the CPL class yesterday, one of the people in the class had an FN 509, and I've never even held one, let alone shot an FN. So he loaned me that gun, and I brought it home. I got to shoot it tomorrow so I can get it back to him.
I've never shot one, but I've held it. They are sweet. I held that Tactical 45. That is a sweet holding. It just fits your hand so nice. It did mine.
Yeah, this FN is interesting. It's the midsize, and they're optics ready. And from everything I've seen on it, it's probably the most versatile optics ready midsize gun around. It'll accommodate like 10 different optics. And they bolt right to the slide rather than have to use a plate. From what I've seen, I haven't spent much time with it. And then the sights already come ready to co-witness with an optic. So far, it looks like it's going to be a nice gun. So Uncle Jim saying FNs are great. He must have some experience with them. This is my first try. I shot it at the indoor range after the CPL class yesterday, and it's right on. So we'll have to see how it works on my range tomorrow.
That's good. He let you borrow it. I take it he lives local there.
The one that I borrowed the gun from. Yeah. He's the next county down, but not too far away. And he and his wife were both in the CPL class, and after the class they decided they're going to take some private lessons. So I'm sure I'll see him again.
Oh, cool.
Any thoughts on the old H&K P7 M13? That P7. That's a squeeze cocker, isn't it?
I don't know. Never heard of it.
Yeah, I thought the H&K P7 was the one with the you squeeze the front of the grip to cock it. If that's the one I'm thinking of, I got another friend of mine who has offered to loan it to me for a test. We just haven't been able to get together with it. I looked at one online, and they're running like $1,500 or more for a P7 now.
I used to shoot the early models great for the same reason.
That's what's an HK P7 going for these days.
I used to have a HK. It was 40. What was it?
Ooh.
Cockpit. something compact. That thing was a jam-o-matic. I got new magazines for it and everything, and I don't know what was wrong with it.
Looking on Gun Broker, there's one P7, $3,250 with no bids yet. Probably not going to buy one for my channel, that's for sure. And then I picked up, I did the video a while back on should I buy a CZP-10S or an HK VP9SK, and I mentioned that I couldn't find the VP9SK, so I ended up getting that the P30SK that I did a video on. On the way back from Colorado, we stopped in Marksman and Shooting Sports down in Westfield, Indiana, and lo and behold, in the case they had a VP9SK LE edition with 3 mags, and 2 days later it showed up in my local gun shop here.
Okay.
And he was asking retail.
Sent up there.
Yeah, he was asking retail price, not over retail, so I had to buy it. P7 can get hot up front. Good to know, because if I'm going to test the thing, so I should shoot it with gloves, huh? Yeah, never haven't handled one of those things even in 20 years, I bet.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
Yeah, if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's a squeeze cocker that you squeeze the front of the grip that actually cocks the gun, and then you can fire it. So as long as you're holding it squeezed, you can continue to fire basically single action.
T.R. Prepper here 2 or 3 years ago, he picked up a squeeze cocker, and it might be. I just wonder if that's the same one. I have to go back on some of his videos and see if it is, because he said it was a squeeze cocker.
Okay, honey.
I don't know if any other companies made them or not. T.R. Prepper getting one of those.
Yeah, I don't know
whether it was that name or not, that model or anything. I don't know. But I remember it was a squeeze cocker.
All right, so Uncle Jim saying, yeah, don't do a lot of rapid fire with it. Considering the value and irreplaceability of that gun, I don't know if my friend's going to let me do a whole lot of shooting with it anyway. We'll hope to do some. Right. But you know me, I got to run the plates once, and I've got to shoot 50 yards with it once.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it gets too hot. Let her rest for a bit.
Keep a bucket of water handy to dunk it, right?
We used to do that when I was shooting IHMSA silhouette, because we used, pistols and bolt action pistols and stuff. And in the summertime, them barrels get hot. In between relays, we used to stick it in a bucket of water, take rubbing alcohol and spray it down to cool it down. Keep changing the point of impact.
Yeah.
I always wanted to get down to Ann Arbor range there when I lived down there, but I just never did make it down there.
Well, you have to make a road trip one of these days.
Yeah, it'd be spring now. I ain't heading down them roads right now.
Yep, understood. Yeah, they're actually making plans, I understand, for a second facility right next to their current one that's going to have a lot of member benefits in it, or a different type of range and so forth. I haven't seen the plans for it yet, but if that comes to fruition next year, it should be really interesting.
Huh. I know Huron Valley, when they moved from what's the town north of
they had the store in Milford for a while, in the mall there, and then they moved down to New Hudson with their new range. That's
beautiful. I haven't never been back into the range area, but it's a beautiful gun shop. I used to go there quite a bit.
Yeah, they got a barber shop in the front of it, and they got a restaurant in there.
Yeah,
nice place.
Yeah,
their prices reflect. Yeah, their prices reflect how nice a place it is too.
Yeah, they want exactly retail for. I don't know now with all this inflation on them now, but I know back then they wanted top dollar for them.
Oh yeah, yeah. I bought a couple guns from them and some accessories, but only things that I couldn't find elsewhere. And the prices seem to go up a little when they move from the strip mall out to their new facility. And of course, they got to pay for that facility too.
Right. I bought my CZ-P07 from. It wasn't a bad price for it. It was going maybe a little bit more than what I'd seen them other places, but I was there and they had it, so I grabbed it.
Yeah, I don't think I bought a gun from the new shop. I bought two from the old, and that's when the prices were okay. But anyway, nice facility. There's a lot of nice ranges in this country. Magnum Shooting Sports out in Colorado is cool. They got 3 8-bay 25-yard ranges and one 100-yard range. And what is it? Shoot Point Blank. And I haven't been to the new one here in Michigan that they just opened, but the one down in just north of Indianapolis is a real nice range too. A lot of nice places out there. We bumped into one on I-75 down. I want to say it's somewhere near Lima, Ohio. They took what used to be an old car museum and turned that into a range, and it's huge. It's gorgeous. They were selling memberships for $30,000. Not 3,000, but 30,000.
Jesus.
Out of my league.
Sounds like some of these elite golf courses. That's what they get for memberships in them places, like Augusta.
Yep.
Stuff like that. Yeah, I wish there was some indoor ranges around here because I hate going. That's what I miss about being downstate out there at the gun club out there to Howell. Being able to go out there any time of the day or night and shoot when you want to. But it is what it is. Tawas has got an indoor range over here, but it's 22 only.
Hey, you can shoot out your back door.
Yeah.
As long as you don't mind. As long as you don't mind getting. Yeah, I don't know, with the shots set off your smoke detectors.
Yeah. I don't know. I set off my wife.
Yeah.
But that's what I was telling somebody earlier. I probably won't get out back here probably now until after deer season because guys hunt their property around here, and I don't want to get out there and raise too much heck. And I don't know if I can get back there or not when we start getting a bunch of snow because I got to walk back there.
Yeah, you got steel. You don't have to do anything with the steel. Just shoot it and don't worry about painting it until spring.
Yeah. That'd be a awful long shot though.
Yeah. Tightens up your mark. How far?
I could set up a bench about 150 yards.
Yeah, it tightens up your marksmanship.
Yeah, it tightened it up all right. I could set a bench here in the edge of the garage because I can see it from there. A couple of targets in.
There you go.
Shoot the Ruger PC. Of course, up here they got a rule that's why I can't use really the full length of my yard there. I can only get maybe 20 yards that I'm legally supposed to be able to shoot.
Really?
Because township's got a thing that it's got to be 450 feet from the nearest dwelling. And my neighbor over here, I used my range finder. I went and walked it, used my range finder to get the peak of his roof and stuff. And I can only actually legally get about 20 yards from my range.
Now, DNR regs say you can't hunt within 450 feet of somebody else's residential dwelling or outbuilding. Doesn't say anything about doesn't say anything about target practice though.
It's a township rule.
Huh.
They do it the same as what the DNR regulations for hunting is.
That's too bad.
I went up and talked to the township supervisor before I did it. He said, whatever the DNR requires, that's what our regulation. Now, I looked through their bylaws. I didn't really see. I could probably argue about it, but hey, this is my home. I ain't going to do that, you know.
Yeah.
I'll be creating a bunch of crap and then get everybody else in trouble too, you know.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure nobody probably even knows that rule around here. I'd probably shoot 100 yards and probably not. I have let some stuff off. Well, it was last winter. I tried to do some chronographing, but my chronograph won't work. I was doing it right out of the back door and shooting down before I put the range in back there where a bullet couldn't go up and anything. So nobody ever said anything. I asked my neighbor about it. He's my closest neighbor. I said, you mind if I put a little pistol range down there? No. He said, the only thing I asked, don't shoot toward me. No problem. Uncle Jim, in snow, I make sure to walk to target often and shuffle your feet, or there's no getting out there again. Yeah, that's probably what I'd have to do. With a snowmobile.
Yeah, I don't, in the wintertime, I don't get down to the targets, but my shooting point is only about 20 feet off the end of the driveway, and it's easy to shovel through that. Like I say, I'm not painting my targets again until spring, so whatever's hanging there is hanging there.
You got good back contrast anyway with the snow.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the snow's going to go away. Looking at the weather forecast, it's supposed to be up to 60 degrees on Wednesday.
Yep, I seen that. It's supposed to be, I don't know, 55 or so up here Wednesday. Well, actually, ours, the yard, the grass and everything was totally covered, but it's kind of, evidently it's warmed up. It's still snowing, but it's kind of melting off. You know, ground must still be too warm for it to really stick good.
Yeah, it's doing that a little bit around here. Let's see, T.A.B.Videos joined us.
God, oh boy, how you doing, bud? Now, this is our second snow up here, Ram. The first one, it covered the ground, and by afternoon, it was gone.
Yeah, looking at the radar right now, it's just past us on snow. A little bit of rain headed this way. It looks like you're still in it though, according to the radar.
Yeah, it's supposed to turn to rain tomorrow, I think, tomorrow afternoon or something.
Yeah, we're going to be 41 and cloudy, but hopefully I get some shooting in tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to work in the morning. I took Thursday and Friday off. Rest my knee for 4 days. Yeah, it's sunny, but it's coming. Yeah, it's going to be here one of these days too, a good one. Although the last couple winters since we've moved up here, we've had snow, but it's not been where you couldn't really get around or anything.
Yeah, I think the last 2 winters I've only had to plow my road a couple of times each winter. It hasn't been too bad.
I think they plowed us 3 times last year or something.
Yeah, I got a private road here that's about 600 feet long that I've got to take care of. But and that reminds me, I still got the mower deck on the tractor. I think maybe it's good that time of year. I ought to take the deck off, put the plow and the chains on.
I went out last Sunday or Monday, I guess it was. Mowed my yard one more time and put it in the shed and winterized it. She's going to be in there from now till spring now.
Yeah, we got back home from Colorado Tuesday night, and Wednesday was the only good day I had to cut. So I did the last cut and mulched most of the leaves. Of course, the leaves are still falling. But whatever happens now between now and next March is what's going to happen, I guess.
That's a nice thing where we're at. On the east side of me is just all pine trees, and we got a couple pine trees in the yard. I don't have any leaves, no leaves. A few blow in from somebody else's, but no leaves around here.
We got rid of a dozen walnut trees last year. That helped a little bit, but I've still got a couple of maples, a few hickories, and a couple of small walnuts left, and half a dozen different varieties of deciduous trees. So, and some of those things don't shed until like February.
Looking forward to the bobsled run. Yeah, I like watching Uncle Jim slide down that hill. Hope you don't ever miss that curve. It'll be a long way down there. Okay. Well, we've been at this for about an hour and a half. We're going to close this thing down. So, Harley, what else you got coming up here in the near future? Anything special?
Yeah, let's see. What have I got? Well, I'm going to have to do the first shots on that VP9 SK, do the FN 509. I've still got a trio of 22 revolvers that I've got to do together. I've got most of the video done on a comparison between a Glock 26 and a Glock 27. And that's as far ahead as I've been. Oh no, I've got some range stuff on the LCP 220 and 22 caliber too. that I'm going to be working on. So I've got a few of those, and hopefully somebody will loan me something else cool in the meantime.
There you go. I'm waiting for Dan to get up here where I can get a couple.
I'm going to do a follow up on my Kimber R7 Mako. YouTube demonetized that first video. I'll do a follow up on it and see if they demonetize the second one. Dan's went through okay with full monetizations. I don't know.
Huh. All right, Uncle Jim, thanks for coming in, and thanks for all the information on the casting and stuff. And as soon as that stuff comes in later in the week, I might just might be my next video doing something like that. East Texas Outlaw, cuz glad to see you. New Tex I Can, glad to see you. Ram, take care. Yeah, we're going to close this thing down. We've been going for an hour and 25 minutes. That's 25 minutes longer than I usually run a chat, but that's all right too. We had some good people out there in the side chat. Of course, Harley stepping in here and helping me out a little bit, rather than hearing me ramble off doing nothing.
Yeah, I appreciate the invite. I'd have gotten in a little sooner, but I was in the middle of a USCCA online training course, and I've got to get to another one once we finish up here. So
Dan's some kind of online training course is why he couldn't come in today. So, all right, with that, we're going to say thank you, everybody, and hopefully in another week or so, we'll maybe try to do this again if I can figure out how to get some heat out here.
Yeah, I'll have a good one.
Take care, everybody. All right.